Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 20 movie stunts. For this list, we'll be ranking the most insane, complex, or death-defying movie stunts of all time. What's your favorite? Let us know in the comments. Now, on to the very risky top 20. Let's go. Number 20, the whole damn movie, Stunt Rock. It sort of says it right there on the tin, doesn't it? Stunt Rock is a 1978 scene carrier flick of sorts, a compilation of famous stunts performed by an industry professional, Australia's Grant Page. Director Brian Trenchard Smith had already directed a documentary titled The Stuntmen in 1973, and Stunt Rock features some of Page's best and most impressive stunt work. Smith's intention was to expose Grant Page to an international audience, but what Stunt Rock did was present these scenes with the heavy metal backdrop of a band called Sorcery. This combination of over-the-top tunes and over-the-top stunt work resulted in one of the most infamous examples of the cult movie genre known as stuntploitation. Number 19, Firefight, Ong Bak the Thai Warrior. Fire stunts have been attempted and mastered by many stuntmen over the years, but that doesn't make them any less impressive. One particularly memorable scene took place in the formative modern action flick Ong Bak the Thai Warrior, starring the action movie icon Tony Jaa. Jaa's commitment to delivering jaw-dropping stunts was set on full display here as he emerges from a gas fire with one devastatingly hot kick to his enemy. The sight of Jaa flying through the air, legs ablaze, and the resulting ignition of the thug's shirt after impact is truly a sight to behold. Number 18, The Cult of Cars, Mad Max Fury Road. It was a very different kind of cinematic landscape for director George Miller when he finally returned to the Mad Max franchise in 2015. Gone were the days of amazing practical effects, and in their place was an industry that prioritized cost-effective but less immersive CGI. Mad Max Fury Road was a refreshing outlier to this rule, however, thanks to Miller's dedication to go big or go home filmmaking. The cult of cars is on full display here, with horsepower and octane being the rule of the day. Specifically, we can't get enough of the scene where a full-scale battle takes place as participants balance on huge poles over vehicles moving at a ridiculous rate of speed. We can't help but hold our breath every single time. Number 17, Building Slide. Who am I? Yes, it's true that we could fill multiple lists with rankings of how many industry-defining stunts lay at the nimble feet of one Jackie Chan. And yes, one of them is most definitely the building slide from 1998's Who Am I? There isn't any big disastrous end of the stunt, but rather a holy crap sense of breathlessness as Chan slides down this incredibly steep and incredibly smooth building. The height alone is scary, but add in how Jackie switches from walking vertical to going head first before finally making his landing. It's just completely ridiculous. Number 16, Truck Flip, The Dark Knight. He may not receive that much attention for his efforts, but another director who prides himself on avoiding excessive CGI is Christopher Nolan.
Now there's a Batman. Who you want to play? Come on.
One outstanding example of this was the Joker's truck flip in 2008's The Dark Knight. Nolan utilized the talents of a stunt driver named Jim Wilkie while also installing a piston underneath an 18-wheeler rigged with explosives. The on-screen results were awesome enough, but the stunt is even more impressive when the nuts and bolts of location and timing are taken into account. If you only get one shot, make sure it looks this good.
Come on. I want you to do it. Come on.
Number 15, Helicopter Hang, True Lies. Don't believe everything you read. For years, movie trivia about the 1994 action classic True Lies maintained that star Jamie Lee Curtis did this breathtaking free air hang from a helicopter without a stunt double.
Oh God! The bridge is out! The bridge is out, Harry!
However, this iconic scene was indeed performed by a double. Stunt industry veteran Donna Keegan. Keegan expressed her frustration over this bit of mythology in a 2020 article for the Chicago Tribune, recalling that it felt like an out-of-body experience. The proof is on screen too, as the limo that Curtis/Keegan is in goes off a bridge, while Keegan grabs another stunt person's hand waiting in the copter. It's truly a sight to behold.
Come on, baby.
Number 14, 180 in, 180 out. Baby Driver. Car stunts are a huge aspect of this very dangerous industry, with many impressive jumps, crashes, and chases being captured on screen. One totally unique stunt took place in Edgar Wright's 2017 flick, Baby Driver, a scene partially inspired by the heist and crime flicks of the 1970s. The stunt driving is done largely for real with minimal CGI trickery, with this blink and you'll miss it moment serving up one of the early highlights. The scene is set to the John Spencer Blues explosion track, Bell Bottoms, as Ansel Elgort's baby effortlessly turns the car 180 degrees to avoid a collision, and 180 degrees back on course. It honestly doesn't get much smoother than this. Number 13, Motorbike Chase, Skyfall. The James Bond franchise has provided a wealth of movie stunt gold over the years, from the classic Sean Connery era on through to modern day. The Daniel Craig Bond films upped the ante considerably in this department, from the parkour fight in Casino Royale to our next entry, the motorbike chase from Skyfall. The scene opens up the movie in typically grandiose Bond fashion, as Craig and co-star Naomi Harris speed through the crowded Turkish streets on a white-knuckle ride. The scene then moves to rooftops, marketplaces, and more before Bond's bike goes flying and 007 barely hangs on for dear life. Number 12, Under the Truck, Raiders of the Lost Ark. In 1939, Yakima Canutt stunned audiences by dropping under a team of horses and the wheels of a stagecoach. Over 4 decades later, Steven Spielberg paid tribute to the scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark, only this time with a 10-wheel truck. Terry Leonard performed this fantastic feat, but only after friend and fellow stuntman Glenn H. Randall Jr. agreed to take the wheel. A small ditch was dug to help Leonard move around, but if he'd made just one wrong move, Indiana Jones would have ended up roadkill. Number 11, Car Chase, The Raid 2. The Raid Redemption is a movie known for its intense martial arts performances, but it also boasts one impeccably photographed car chase as well. This scene is notable not only for its single take, but how the camera moves from outside the car, inside, and out again. There was no CGI involved, but actually a crew member dressed like a car seat to make this shot happen. The scene is expanded further with claustrophobic close quarters fighting and the sort of stunt driving that makes you practically break into a nervous sweat. It's incredible stuff. Number 10, Pedal to the Metal, Bullets. Speaking of car chases, the modern chase probably wouldn't be where it is today without a number of standard smashing forebears from the 60s and 70s. The car chase from 1971's The French Connection is often cited, but minds were already being blown 3 years prior with this hugely important chase from Bullets. Ford Mustangs and Dodge Chargers burn rubber and reach speeds reportedly topping 100 miles per hour, while star Steve McQueen actually does some real driving, alongside his stunt team of 3 different doubles. The end result is a masterclass of execution, editing, and excitement that simply must be viewed at least once. Number 9, Balcony Fall, Stick. Stick may be the most obscure movie on this list, but it's actually well known in stunt coordinator circles. That's because it featured certified stunt legend Dar Robinson in his only on-screen role as an actor, playing the film's antagonist.
Well, well. Look at what the Lord has brought me. That's far enough, pal.
Robinson's death scene is remarkable as it utilizes the stuntman's own invention, a decelerator, to assist in the photography of his terrifying free fall.
Why don't you push real hard? You might hit the water.
Robinson continues to act during his descent, firing his gun as a secret brake slows his descent to an airbag out of frame. Robinson was truly a pro and boasted that he never broke a bone during any of his stunts until an accident on the set of $1 Million Mystery in 1986, when his motorcycle tragically went off a cliff. Number 8, Collapsing Wall, Steamboat Bill Jr. A silent star with vaudeville training, Buster Keaton wowed audiences with jaw-dropping stunts that put modern-day filmmakers to shame. In this iconic scene from Steamboat Bill Jr., a giant wall falls right on top of him. But fortunately, there's a window in just the right spot. It looks simple, but that wall weighed 2 tons. Keaton only had a few inches of clearance on each side, and if he'd missed his mark, the wall would have crushed him like a bug. No wonder most of the crew closed their eyes. At least, we're sure we would have if we were on the set. Number 7, Motorcycle Jump, The Great Escape. We mentioned earlier how Steve McQueen did some of his own driving on the set of Bullet, and this was also true during another of his films, 1963's The Great Escape. McQueen was a skilled, award-winning racer, but producers behind The Great Escape weren't willing to toy with any insurance premiums should McQueen have an accident while shooting the film's iconic motorbike jump sequence. Instead, stuntman Bud Eakins, a friend of McQueen's, performed the jump, although for years fans assumed that the actor did all of his own stunts on the set. Number 6. Raging River. Deliverance. It's common for many film productions to use dummies for stunts that are so dangerous. Even stunt performers won't risk death in the attempt.
You don't beat it. Don't beat this river.
One of these was the intense waterfall scene in 1972's Deliverance, where Burt Reynolds goes over in a canoe.
Now you get to play the game.
Director John Frankenheimer was determined to use a dummy, since there were going to be long shots, enabling the double to be used. Reynolds was adamant about doing the stunt himself, however, insisting that it would look better.
Louis!
Fast forward after the stunt with a battered and bruised Reynolds waking up in a hospital and asking Frankenheimer how it looked. The response? It looked like a dummy falling over a waterfall. Number 5. Window Jump. The Bourne Ultimatum. The Jason Bourne franchise is known for a number of things. Shaky cam fighting choreography is one of them, while the other is a reputation for awesome stunt work. Case in point, this wince-inducing window jump from the Bourne Ultimatum. The handheld camera work creates a disorienting effect that is supposed to immerse the audience into the scene's tension, while sharp edits are balanced with longer takes following Matt Damon's Jason Bourne. The jump from the building into an apartment window kicks it all off, and we feel the physicality and intensity right from the start, and it never lets up. Number 4. Clock Tower Fall. Project A. Jackie Chan was a fan of silent movies, and this pic pays homage to the famous clock tower scene from Safety Last. Only unlike Harold Lloyd, Jackie was actually 3 stories up in the air, and then he let go. Jackie tumbles 50 feet down, tearing through 2 awnings before hitting the ground with his head. Unhappy with the first shot, Jackie performed the stunt 2 more times. He even included 2 different takes in the final film, so we can moan and groan even more. Number 3. Chariot Race. Ben-Hur. The most expensive movie of its day, Ben-Hur is best remembered for its $1 million chariot race, which saw Charlton Heston do most of his own driving. But things almost ended tragically when stuntman Joe Knutt filled in for the film's hero. In this infamous scene, Knutt was going too fast and wasn't properly hooked in. When his chariot bounced in the air, Joe went flying over the front. Fortunately, Knutt was able to drag himself back inside, escaping with just a bloody chin. Number 2. Pole Slide. Police Story. Stunt doubles? Jackie Chan doesn't believe in stunt doubles. Thanks to his do-it-yourself attitude, he's been slashed by a sword, crushed between vehicles, and came very close to meeting his demise in Armor of God. But this crazy stunt from Police Story nearly left him paralyzed. Jackie slides down a 70-foot pole, getting zapped by light bulbs all the way down before crashing through a sheet of glass and landing in a kiosk. The stunt almost snapped his spine and left Jackie with a dislocated pelvis and second-degree burns. Ouch. But, man, looks cool, doesn't it?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Scaling the Burj Khalifa. Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol. Tom Cruise is completely crazy when it comes to stunts anyway. It doesn't matter if it's the plane stunt from Rogue Nation or the helicopter jump from Fallout, the man is fearless. Part of Ghost Protocol is set outside the Burj Khalifa, the world's tallest building, and this mind-blowing scene finds him dangling over 1,700 feet in the air, with the help of a few cables digitally erased later, of course. Just try not to gasp when he lets go and plummets for 2.5 stories. Eventually, with just one rope, Cruise runs down the building, jumps over a camera, and soars on crosswinds 1.5 miles above the ground. Just don't look down, Tom.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.